right, y'all, here's an absolute banger trade off of some demand. As you see, it's bouncing on the first, I think, hourly demand now. Finally, it fills me in. Yeah, it fills me off the bottom of the demand. This is off the 9:30 open, by the way, bro. Like, this was as soon as I opened up my computer, because I woke up late today, bro. Like really late. I woke up badly. I marked out the demand zones, and it was literally on top of it for the 9:30 open. And so I was like, fuck, this is risky, but I mean, it ended up playing out. So I mean, one thing with me is I'm never gonna overly trip about, you know, the type of strategy that we have. I mean, if it shows itself, if it presents itself, then I'm gonna follow suit, and I'm gonna trust that, you know, the market is gonna do what, you know, all the back testing and whatnot proves that it does. Here you can see early 1 minute fair value gap was created. So here we are filling it. Not too worried, because we have another 2 demand zones below us that it would have to run through in order to hit our stop loss. So I mean, even though it's rejecting the gap right here, I'm not really too worried about it, just because of demand zones. As you see, it's jumping on one of the demand zones now. Back to our second demand zone where our entry was, and flies right back out of it. This trade was actually from a few days ago. I think maybe Friday, honestly, bro. It's been a minute since I was putting it down, and I was being lazy about editing the video for YouTube. But this, obviously, if y'all know, Monday of this week for NQ and ES, we saw a ridiculous 7 a.m. candle Monday morning. It flew up about 1,000 points on NQ. It made Monday untradeable. It made Tuesday hard, and even today, Wednesday, was really hard to trade, just because we flew up 1,000 points Monday, and ever since Monday, we've kind of just been chopping in a little 100-point range of straight consolidation on high time frames, 1 hour, 4 hour, even. I mean, it's just ridiculous, the consolidation we have right now, because the market is so imbalanced off of that 1,000 point move at, like I said, a random 7 a.m. and it happened in like 1 5-minute candle. It moved like 1,000 points. So market is super unbalanced right now. So hasn't been an amazing week. It hasn't been a bad one either. But this is a good trade. Like I said, straight out the 9:30 open. This file is going to be ginormous. I'm going to have to email it to myself, bro, because they're fucking stupid ass MacBook settings where you can't forward a certain file size, bro. It's so dumb. So as y'all see, it's very volatile. Obviously 9:30 open. It keeps smacking our demand zone and then testing the 1 minute gap and then flying right back down into our demand zones. I mean, I think our entry was really good. If we would have had an entry on the top of the first demand zone, I would have been a little bit nervous. But luckily, since it was 9:30 open, I ended up thinking we were going to run through the first demand zone. I put it on my second. Demand zone was my entry point, which was a good call for me, because right here we'd be in severe drawdown if I entered on the first demand zone. But since we entered on the second one, we're still technically in profit right now. We're not in the drawdown. All right, get back to it. So here we are. The EMA is finally getting towards the first demand zone. So I feel like the next time we enter this fair value gap, we're going to really finally push it, because we're below the EMA. That's how I felt in the moment. Obviously, as you can see, here we go, pushing through it pretty quickly. We're about 50% through the fair value gap now. Come back down for a few more EMA taps. Here we are, we're above the EMA, we're bouncing the EMA while it's still inside the fair value gap. That's why I end up trailing my stop loss break even. As you can see, EMA is now above the point where the fair value gap starts. So if it blows all the way back through that first demand zone and then to my to my break even point, then I mean, it is what it is. The market got it at that point. I'm not worried about it. think the frustrating part is because like I said, this was from days ago, but I think this play ended up running to my my TP at 35. But I think I took this out early actually, because I think we rejected a later gap, or maybe we rejected a higher time frame gap or something, and I just took my profit. But I think I still have some time on the trade. I think I don't remember exactly which gap it rejects, but yeah, if I would have just left it and kept trailing my stop loss at like a reasonable like level, I guess, I don't know, like below every gap or whatever, then I think it would have ended up playing out. Or maybe if I did every 5-minute low or something, which is sometimes what I do for these bigger plays. I like, as you can see, this is almost 200 points that I'm chasing here. But yeah, like I said, I think it rejects a gap here. Here I am trailing my stop loss to actual profit, because that's a 3-minute fair value gap, which is obviously more telling than 1 minute. And so if it inverses that 3-minute and then engulfs all these bullish candles, I mean, like I said, the market got it at that point, bro. I wouldn't understand that at that point. So I'm fine with trailing my stop loss to a little bit of profit. Here we are continuing to bounce on the EMA. That's why I like the 9 EMA, just because when we're actually in a play, I don't use it too much on entries unless it's a reversal or something, and the EMA has finally caught up to some consolidation before a reversal. I don't really use the EMA for entry points as much as I do like stop loss trailing, or like mid play, like if I should exit, or if I should keep letting this play run. That's what I like the 9 EMA for. As you can see, the VWAP is also slowly coming back down to our take profit on the higher time frames, which, like I said, the VWAP I also like as a magnet for price. Since price ran so down low, I feel like it needs to at least trail to the VWAP in order to go lower, if it doesn't take out any highs. Yeah, thinking about it now that I remember, this play definitely ended up hitting take profit. Well, like, it would have hit TP if I would have trailed my stop loss reasonably and left it at the bottom of the bearish fair value gap. But I think, if I remember correctly, this is where I get taken out of. I think that it does end up hitting this stop market sell. Because, yeah, as you can see, I wasn't really trailing this stop loss correctly. Well, correctly, I guess. I don't know. There's no correct or incorrect way to do it. But if I would have followed my rules and kept this stop loss at the bottom of the bearish wick, then it would have ended up playing out. Unfortunate.